Hey there, welcome to the very first episode of Kash Queries with Krutika. I'm thrilled to kick off this series where we'll be tackling your most pressing financial questions. Today, I've got 4 fantastic queries lined up. Number 1, we'll be helping a 27-year-old who's already investing in mutual funds but wants to know where else they can put their money to reach their goals of buying a house and funding family weddings. It's a great example of balancing multiple financial objectives. Next, we'll dive into a sensitive family matter about inheritance rights. We'll explore what happens when a parent wills property to one child over another and what legal options might be available. A third question is a bit technical but super important for home buyers. We'll break down how to calculate the indexed cost of acquisition for a flat purchased over several years. This can have significant tax implications, so pay attention. And lastly, we'll guide a new investor who's dipping their toes into both stocks and mutual funds. We'll discuss balancing investments, the pros and cons of index funds, and some general advice for newcomers to the market. Just a quick reminder about what Kash Queries with Krutika is all about. This series is dedicated to answering real financial questions from real people like you. We keep everything anonymous so you can learn without anyone feeling exposed. Whether we are just starting your financial journey or you are looking to optimize your wealth, we have got something for everyone. Alright, now I'd like to introduce my assistant for today, Mithilesh. He'll be reading out our questions. Mithilesh, let's hear that first question.
I'm 27 and earning 54,000 rupees a month. I invest 2,000 a month each in SBI Small Cap and HDFC Mid Cap Opportunities Fund and 5,000 each in ABSL Tax Saver and Nippon India Tax Saver Fund. I want to purchase a house as soon as possible. I also have to fund 2 marriages in the family. Where else can I invest money through SIPs?
Thank you, Mithilesh, for that. You've mentioned your goals but not the corpus you require or your time horizon. You are saving and investing around 26% of your monthly salary, which is a decent percentage. Since you have not mentioned your horizon and future value of your goals, the question is whether this figure is enough. So assuming 12% monthly returns, 14,000 invested per month for a period of 7, 10 and 15 years will yield around 18.5, 32.5 and 70.6 lakh rupees respectively. Now, this is a rough estimate. I suggest you calculate on a goal-based SIP calculator available on various mutual fund websites for your clarity. Apart from that, around 71% of your investments is in ELSS funds. Tax saver funds play a dual role of helping save tax and creating long-term wealth. If you are invested in these funds to save tax, then you can continue to stay invested in this category. From the fund's outperformance perspective, I would like you to stop additional purchases in Nippon India Tax Saver and HDFC Mid Cap Opportunities Fund. Instead, you can look at investing in Mira Tax Saver and Axis Mid Cap Fund. As we are investing for specific goals, please keep in mind that investing in mid cap and small caps is very risky, as these segments can be very volatile. If you cannot stomach that, you can look at venturing into funds in the flexi cap and focused categories. Alright, I think that was a great question. Now let's move on to our next question. Mithilesh, please.
Question 2. My mother is alive and has willed her property to my brother because she says I am married. Do I have any claim over this property?
Alright, so if your mother were to pass away in state, you as a class 1 legal heir would have the same share in your parents' self-acquired property as your brother. And the fact that you are married would have no bearing on it. However, if your mother leaves a property to your brother in a will, you will have to prove that the will is invalid to be able to lay claim on it. That was a tricky question, isn't it? Okay, let's tackle a third question. Mithilesh, please.
I have made payments to a builder over 3 financial years for a purchase of a flat. For the purpose of arriving at the indexed cost of acquisition, which financial year should be considered as the year of acquisition? Should the payments made in each financial year be indexed and added up to arrive at the cost of acquisition?
In case of purchase of flat, where payments are made over a span of time, benefit of indexed cost of acquisition shall be available to the taxpayer on the basis of the year in which the payments were actually made. Hence, you will be able to index the value of each year separately. I hope that clears up things for our home buyers out there. Now, for our final question of the day, Mithilesh.
I'm 36 and recently started investing in equity. I hold 10 stocks worth 1.22 lakhs. I earned 35% returns from them. I have also started investing in mutual funds. How does one balance stock investment? Is Motilal Oswal S&P 500 a good fund? How many stocks do I need to hold in my portfolio?
Now, investments in direct equities work on a high risk, high return proposition. You should thus determine your risk and return appetite before investing in market linked options. As a first step, define your short, medium, and long term goals. Accordingly, determine asset allocation and diversify into various asset classes such as mutual fund SIPs, direct equity, and debt funds. Motilal Oswal S&P 500 is a passive index fund. It replicates the S&P 500 index and moves with the market trend. It's a safer option for a new stock investor. Last year was exceptionally good for equity and should not be considered as a benchmark. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really matter how many stocks you are holding as long as you are invested in a fundamentally strong stock. Do not rely on free market feedbacks for investment decisions. As for mutual fund investments, always opt for the SIP route, which helps you create wealth in the long run with minimum risk. Alright, with that, we have answered all the 4 queries. Thank you, Mithilesh, for reading out the queries for us. With this, we have wrapped our very first episode of Kash Queries with Krutika. We have covered a lot of ground today, from investment strategies for young professionals to inheritance rights, property taxation, and tips for new investors. I hope you have found these insights valuable and applicable to your own financial journey. Remember, financial planning is not a one-size-fits-all. It's about understanding your unique situation, goals, and risk tolerance. If you have a burning question you'd like to answer, don't be shy. Send me an email and you might just see your query featured in our next episode. Before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll be back next Saturday with more of your fantastic questions. Until then, keep making those smart money moves. See you next time on Kash Queries with Krutika.